Hello children, hope you are getting ready for your first biomonthly test. Uh, Not my language but the other languages, because I have still not finished this particular lesson, which will be finished by today's session half, and the next session will be covered with the whole lesson. After that you will be getting a PDF form notes as well. So please get ready as well. Please have a textbook reading as I usually say. Yes, today's session is our third session and we're back on Truths in the Forest. That was a lovely story. Author Fritz Winken, about his autobiography it was. And we have a couple of new words on board which will come across on today's session. So let me read out the new words. Paralyzed, disabled, no movement in the body part. Paralyzed, you might be seeing those patients where the half body does not work. Wherever it is being paralyzed, that body part will not be having any movements. Present, showing on loyalty, showing no loyalty to your country, that is cheating your country. So that is called as present, showing no loyalty to your country, especially when you give shelter to your enemies. And that is what tells in the story here. Fröhliche Weihnachten. This is a German word which says that Happy Christmas. Corporal, physically harming. Physically harming is chopping off your hand, chopping off your leg is a corporal punishment. So that says physically harming. Indecision, unable to make a decision. Unable to make your own decision is called as indecision. Yes. Moving on to our third session of story. You know now half of the story. Like the war was broken out in Germany. There was American and German people getting into wars, and as well Fritz Winken and his mom stayed away in the forest. There were two men who knocked at the door, but when she saw it was three men, the third man was lying down, who had been wounded, and we came to know their names. That was Jim, Harry, and what was the third person's name? Robin. Yeah. So short one was named as Jim. Slender, that is thin one, was named as Robin. Harry was a wounded person. Now Mama was treating Fritz Winken's mama was treating Harry. She torn out a couple of pieces of bed sheets to make it as a bandage to him, where his knee was being injured very badly. As well, Fritz Winkinson was being asked to get a bucket of snow to rub on their other two soldiers, that is Robin and what was that name now? Jim. Just to rub it on their feet so that it comes to the normal temperature. Now after doing all these things, there was a chicken and as well as ham, herman, that was a type of nut which was being roasted, and there was being food being prepared, and that aroma was coming out. And again there was a sudden knock on that Christmas evening again to the doors. So Mom and Fritz Winken thought that there was some more German or American soldiers who have lost their way, who's just knocking at the door. But let's see, was there really an Americans? Page number 3. I was paralyzed with fear. So here Fritz Winken is saying that he was paralyzed. Paralyzed in the sense he did not been attacked, but he was telling that there was no movement in his legs and hands. Although still a child, I knew the harsh law. I was a child, Fritz Winken says he was a child, but he still knew that harsh law where they are giving shelter to the enemies. What would have happened with the mother and the son there? They would have been jailed, they would have been getting a corporal punishment. Yes? Sheltering enemy soldiers constitute high present. We could all be shot. Mother was frightened too. So mother was also being frightened here. Might be we were all being shooted at once. Her face was white, but she stepped outside and said quietly, Frelci Wachenchen. That is, wishing the soldiers happy Christmas in German language. The soldiers wished her Merry Christmas too. So when you wish someone, exactly even they will wish you back saying the same. So the soldiers also wished Fritz Winkel's mother saying that Merry Christmas. We have lost our regiment. Regiment is the place where army people put their tents. Those are called as regiments. And would like to wait for daylight. So it was night now. They are asking shelter up to morning. Daylight is morning. Explain the corporal. Can we rest here? So there was a person who used to give corporal punishments. So he just asked Fritz Winkel's mom that can we have a shelter at your home? Of course, mother replied with a calmness born of panic. She was panicking, she was very afraid. She just told yes. You can also have a fine warm meal and eat till the pot is empty. So she told, yes, not only having shelter, but also dinner tonight where you can just empty the pot. That is having stomach full. The Germans smiled as they sniffed the aroma through the half-open door. So there was a smile on their face where that aroma was just coming in to that half-closed door. But mother added firmly. She wanted to say something now. We have 3 other guests whom you may not consider friends. Now her voice was suddenly sterner than I did ever heard it. So now she tells, see, there are 3 more men who is sharing our shelter, but you may not feel them as a friend. Now it was a high tone where she carried her pitch of tone. This Christmas Eve, and there will be no shooting here. So she told it very hardly and in a very loud voice, saying that there will be no shooting at my shelter, that is at my home. This Christmas evening it is, so there will be no shootouts done at my home. Who's inside? Now the corporal person asked, who is inside your house? The corporal demanded, American? Are you giving shelter to Americans? That was his question to mom. That is Fritz Winkel's mother. Mother looked at each frost-chilled face. So she just saw all the soldiers who were ahead at the door. They were frost-chilled in the sense they were shivering in that cold. Listen, she said slowly. You would be my son and so. You also might be my son. And so could those in 3 in there. So as you are like my son, the same way even the people who is already having shelter in my house, even they are my sons. A boy with a gun shoot wound fighting for his life. His 2 friends are lost like you and just as hungry and exhausted as you are. So she told here that the other 3 are also like my son and I am giving shelter to them. As well, they are really hunger as you people are hunger. As you people have lost your regiments the same way they are too. And in that 3 persons, there is 1 person who's been wounded very badly and just fighting for his life. So he was just fighting for his life in the sense he had bleeded too much, he had wound He had been gunshot on his knee, so he was just fighting for his breath. This one night, she turned to a corporal and raised her voice a little. This Christmas night, let us forget about killing. So she raised her voice. She told, this one night, just lift them. Just forget about your enemy and we will celebrate Christmas there. As well, she says that in a very loud voice. Forget about killing. The corporals stared at her. So even he was against the law now. He just stared. He just looked at Fritz Winston's mother. There were 2 or 3 endless seconds of silence. So he couldn't take it partially. He just was very silent. He did not speak a word. Then mother put an end to indecision. Enough talking. Now she told, stop talking. Stop thinking. Stop taking your decisions. She ordered and clapped her hands sharply. Please put your weapons here on the wooden pile and hurry up before the others eat the dinner. So she told, enough of talking now, just get in, put on your arms. That is, they were carrying all the guns as well, many other weapons with them. So she just asked them to just put it on the wood pile there and enter into the house and have the dinner. Decently, the 4 soldiers placed their arms on the pile of firewood just inside the door. 3 carbines and light machine gun and 2 baskets. All these are type of weapons which was being used in warfare. Meanwhile, mother was speaking French rapidly to Jim. So mother was speaking French to Jim. Who's Jim here? The American warrior. He said something in English, and to my amazement, I watched the American boys too turn their weapons over to mother. As she said, just put down. They all put down their weapons and they obeyed Fritz Winston's mother. Now, as Germans and Americans tensely rubbed elbows in the small room, they were all put in one single room where they have to stay together there now. Mother went right on preparing dinner. She just left preparing dinner. But Herman wasn't going to grow any bigger. Herman was less that roasted nuts which was kept for his father who had to come for Christmas evening, but their father did not come that day. So now that roasted almonds were very less for all these people. How will they feed them now? So mother had an idea. And now there were 4 more mouths to feed. Quick, she whispered to me, get more potatoes and some oats. So she told, get some potatoes and some oats. I will prepare that also. These boys are hungry. All the boys are hungry. And a starving man is an angry one. Yes. Usually when mama does not give you lunch at time or any food at time, then when you're hungry, you usually feel angry. The same way she tells here, if I don't give them food now, they might be angry. So this was today's session, children. Hope you all have got the story.